Thank you for being with me here today, first and foremost.
Thank you.
So let's hear your postpartum journey. You were a health and fitness coach at the time.
This was 5 years ago already, which is crazy. 6 years ago, my oldest is 6. And I was a health and fitness coach, like you said, Dale. And throughout my pregnancy, I felt really healthy. I was still eating clean, organic, non-gluten, all of the things, checking my boxes. I was still weight training, doing cardio as my body allowed me, doing yoga. So in my mind, I was healthy, right? And what everyone says. And then after having my baby, it was a long labor. It was very intense, but postpartum anxiousness hit like crazy, which I thought it was just because I was a new mom running a business. So I pushed that aside. And then the overwhelm started to come in, which led to depressing feelings where it felt like not motivated. I was having a hard time just being myself in my postpartum journey. And after months of ignoring these signs, I started to have full-blown panic attacks. I was losing hair, just bald patches. The whole time, I thought that I was fine. The whole time, I didn't want to admit that there was something wrong with me, because when I talked to other moms, they were going through similar situations. So I thought it was all normal, until long and behold, when I had a panic attack in front of my husband when we were cooking dinner. And it just kind of came over me. I couldn't breathe. My heart started racing. I was cold but clammy. I was crying and hyperventilating. And I just felt like this elephant was sitting on my chest. And my husband's like, Justina, what is happening? Because he had no idea. He was working 3 jobs while I was home with the baby. At that point, I realized that I needed to do something about it. And I wasn't as healthy as I thought I was.
So what ended up happening? So were you seeking out solutions? I know you mentioned to me that you had gone to see your doctor. He wanted to prescribe meds and you were like, no, thank you. And then, so how did you get introduced to these natural solutions, the gut-brain axis, that gut-brain connection, that whole science?
So after going to the doctor and running labs, and they're like, nothing's wrong with you, here's medication, I wasn't willing to accept that as my story. So I'm the type of person that wants to go do my own research. I started researching anxiety, postpartum feelings, depression, all these things. And everything led me to the gut microbiome and how it connects to your brain. Well, I'm not a scientist, so I didn't know how to do that myself. But with God's will, it was about a week later, a friend reached out to me to share this natural protocol that did just that. It was ancient Chinese herbs and specific probiotics that actually target your gut-mind connection. And it helps your body make more serotonin and dopamine and oxytocin, and to lower your stress hormone, all working together like a system, like our body operates. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no way, because I was searching for it, that it was this easy for me to find. I flew out to the home office, which is where I met you, and we met the scientists and the CEO and all of the head honcho guys. And I loved them and the energy and their mission. I loved the science because I was breastfeeding. I also was working with a lot of pregnant women, a lot of postpartum women. So I wanted to make sure the labels, the ingredients were clean, pure, which everything was perfect, checked the boxes. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. I introduced the Happy Juice protocol into my life. And within 2-3 days, I started to feel lighter. I started to feel peppier. I just felt like the pep back.
Right here.
And I remember looking out the window and telling my husband, the sky is so blue. And he's like, Justina, the sky's always blue. I'm like, no, it's blue. There was this cloud that got lifted and I felt like I had clarity. And that's when I knew that these products were working. And then fast forward to 3 years ago, I became pregnant with my second child, which was an entirely different postpartum journey. Thank God to the probiotics and Chinese herbs, because he was actually an emergency C-section. Things could have gone down a dark path. During my postpartum journey, I was recognizing the possible triggers that had triggered me in my first postpartum journey, and how I recognized them, but they weren't affecting me. The resiliency was there. My healing of the postpartum surgery was amazing and fast. I did it drug-free, the healing process, thanks to our supplements. And yeah, it was a night and day difference between my first journey and my second journey. And I have to say it's because your gut microbiome was making all these feel-good hormones. So yeah.
Amazing. It gives me the chills. It honestly does, because there's so many women that are struggling. Even maybe it's not diagnosed as postpartum, but motherhood is the toughest job on the planet. And we need to do whatever it is. Give me all the tools that we can use, to feel better and get through it. And I mean, I use this every day for like stress resilience. You know what I mean? And that's what it creates. Like you mentioned, just more serotonin, dopamine, GABA to keep you calm, like lower cortisol, like all those things. Like we need that as moms. Justina, thank you so much. It was so fun to meet you. It was 6 years ago, and we're still in touch and kind of following each other's journey. But you're amazing. Your children are beautiful. Love you so much. Thank you, Justina.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.